Hello everybody and welcome to another Tech Minute video. My name is Tom from 6 Foot Networks and thank you for joining me, I guess in my front yard. Today I got a phone call about an hour or so ago from a gentleman who I know from a previous business engagement, but he had some questions about two-factor authentication and I wanted to quickly go over it again. I know I did this in a previous video, but I wanted to this time show specifically what I'm talking about with regards to how these things work and what you can expect to get out of it. So first things first, what is two-factor authentication? Well, it's a mechanism that adds an extra layer of security to your authentication engine, whatever it is. So if you have a system for your work or something that you have to sign in on, it may ask you for your token. And that's typically what it is. It's some kind of a token that's unique to you, to that install, to that particular session. And most tokens are timed, typically 30 seconds, maybe a minute, depending on what system it is and how they're implemented. But I'm going to show you my token. So I have an app here, and forgive me that it's dark, it's a little bright out here, but you can see that this is a 6-digit token, and this one just happens to go to my Backblaze backup account. And you can see down below that I have a few more accounts that I can connect to. But essentially, this is a 6-digit number that rotates every 30 seconds. Now, they have 8-digit ones. It just depends on what your scenario is. In fact, here, I'll kind of hold it sideways. You can see that little timer is about to run out and the numbers are going to roll. Boom. New numbers. And these are unique to this particular install. Now, the other ones have the same 6-digit numbers, but they're different and they're literally tied to that authentication system. And there is a mathematical formula that's used to verify that, hey, this number is in fact what the system's expecting, and that's how it allows you in. Most VPN platforms require two-factor authentication. I'm surprised that most banks don't require two-factor authentication. Some do, some don't. But anyway, this is literally just an extra layer. So if your password gets out there, that password's useless without this. And being that this changes every 30 seconds, it makes it, very close to impossible to break unless you have some kind of a random number generator that can hammer the system, which I haven't heard of any cases where two-factor authentication was broken. But the term two-factor means that there's two forms of authentication that are happening. One, your password is verified. Once that's verified, it verifies your token, which is this. And assuming that they both match in that time frame, in that 30-second time frame, you're allowed access. Now, there is such a thing as multi-factor authentication, and multi-factor typically is 2 or more methods of authentication. For one, you might have your password, you might have a biometric scan, you might have some kind of a hardware token or a soft token, which is what this is. This is a software generated token. They also have hardware versions of these. So if you sometimes see people with little keys, little plastic keys on their key ring that throw up the 6 digits or 8 digits, that's the hardware equivalent of this. They're both essentially the same. One is just provided by the company. The other one is user managed. Like these, you manage. You essentially install the app, you purchase it. This one happens to be Authy desktop, or Authy, I guess Authy for iOS or iPad OS, because this is on an iPad. But I do have the desktop version on my Mac. They have a Windows version of it, and it's really great because you can set it up here, and then it's on your phone, it's on your computer, so whatever you're sitting at, you can get to your tokens, and they also synchronize across. So, but that's not the only app that's out there. I know Google Authenticator is out there. The standard typical app is the RSA Secure ID one, which is typically linked to corporate systems and whatnot. So there's a couple of different ways to go about this, and it just depends on the situation. I chose to enable two-factor authentication. I started going through all of my systems, and I'm trying to link them to this because it's just easier than using multiple, hardware tokens, software tokens, this app versus that app. They're all essentially the same. They store your data, and then when it's time, you go in, you get your 6-digit number, and you put it in, and you're authenticated. Otherwise, you're kind of stuck. If you ever lose this, this is great, because if I wipe this iPad or if it gets destroyed and I have to replace it, I can restore my keys using another install that's linked to this. So like the one on my desktop, the one on my laptop, the one on my phone, they're all kind of there. And it's really cool because I just recently had to get my iPhone replaced, and it was just, you know, a 90-second ordeal to get my codes back, and I didn't have to call anybody to get anything reset. So two-factor authentication is the best way to protect yourself. And if there's any questions, please consider leaving us a comment. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you really like this video and want to see more of these kinds, please consider subscribing. It really does help us out and allow us to create more content like this for you guys. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and have a great week ahead.